most of them out here with a quick video about whether or not Necromunda Underhive Wars is going to be broken at release. So let me start by saying that I hope it is. But yeah, I just think a lot of people might be concerned about this because they maybe remember the release of Mordheim a few years ago, and I imagine a lot of people that are looking forward to the Necromunda release are also fans of Mordheim, people that played Mordheim a lot and were waiting for the sort of next game that sort of saw the potential there and stuff. So when Mordheim released, I don't think it was broken, but it was a pre-release. It was early access initially, and it didn't have all the features, and maybe it was a bit more janky and everything, and maybe there was a little bit of backlash from the community about it, not living up to expectations a little bit, but. I think that Mordheim, although I still feel like Mordheim didn't get to fully live up to its potential. I think it still needed more development and more content, and it deserved, like the fundamental game deserved that extra time. And it's just a pity, I guess, it wasn't more successful. But anyway, I think it's a valid concern for people, and maybe if you haven't pre-ordered yet, you're wondering how playable it's going to be at release and all that kind of stuff. So so I wanted to talk about what we know about the state of the game, how playable it is, and everything, what we've seen already, and any indicators that we've got there, and also why we should have faith in the development process after release as well. So in terms of evidence, we don't have a lot of evidence. Game Night Players and AirsickHydra have got early access copies of the game, and they're playing a pre-release version, so it's not quite the release version, but it's it's pretty much the same, pretty much the game. So they've got a pretty good idea of how playable it is. I said in my previous video, I was sort of talking about AEST a little bit in our stream last night, and I think Hydra makes an effort to be, pretty kind of responsible and have a little bit of integrity, like I guess you'd say like journalistic integrity as a creator. So I'm not saying that he's gonna be really ruthless with his reviewing or anything like that. I would expect and hope that he's still going to be really encouraging and positive about everything to do with the game, because frankly I'm grateful to Rogue Factor for making more Warhammer IP stuff. But I don't think he's not the kind of guy that will just kind of cover stuff up or be a complete shill or anything. So I think the fact that I know Game Night's excited. Like, he's mentioned a number of times that he's really excited about the release and everything. So that's not the kind of reaction of somebody who's got deep concerns about the playability or whether we're gonna like it. That's the kind of reaction of somebody that fully expects that we're all going to be just as excited when we get our hands on it. And as I said, AirsickHydra, I think, has he's shown some pretty good integrity in the past. I've really found his coverage of Inquisitor Martyr valuable, so basically, obviously we don't know until we get our hands on the game for sure, but everything we've seen so far seems to indicate that it's going to be in a very playable state when it comes out. Frankly, I'm not going to be too worried if there's, some problems with multiplayer connectivity, or, there's some little bugs here and there, or there's cropping into stuff, or with graphical bugs, or, whatever, as long as the fundamental gameplay kind of works, I can level up my gangers, I can, have battles, and the strategic build stuff that you do is meaningful in the game. As long as the fundamental game is there, that's all I really need out of it myself. But maybe you've got a bit different expectations. But I think a really important thing to be aware of is that it is a smaller studio. This isn't like a full kind of AAA kind of big budget game. This isn't Witcher 3 or Cyberpunk 2077 or something like that. They are probably operating on a bit of a tighter budget, smaller crew and that kind of thing. but they've proven themselves. You know, they've already proven themselves in my eyes, at least, with Mordheim. I pre-ordered instantly just purely on the strength of Mordheim, because you know there's so many of these companies that make these Warhammer IP games, and they're just not equipped for it. They're just not up for the task, you know. And you know, you kind of, and I think that's probably like kind of known from the start, you know, like that they maybe weren't equipped for the task. They often try to be too ambitious with these fan service type things. Whereas, you know, that's not the case with Rogue Factor. Like, they've tried to make this exact kind of game before, so they know exactly what's involved, you know. Like, I mean, obviously there's a lot of new stuff involved in this game, and it's a very different game, but it's essentially the same kind of gameplay loop, same gameplay hook, like the same stuff that makes you love Mordheim is the stuff that's going to make you love Necromunda. It's just going to be better, hopefully, and I think it will be better in a lot of ways. So the point I'm trying to make is that they've done it before, and they've done it pretty damn well. Like, Mordheim was a pretty ambitious project. Like, it's got a lot of different. It's not like built off the template of some other game. Like, it's very much like its own game, and it does stuff that, you know, it gives you an experience that you haven't had in any other games before. So, you know, so they did something new. They did it really well, and at this point now they've already done it before, so they know what's involved. They know how hard it is, and maybe what things they would like to improve, and you know, things that they did right last time, and all that sort of stuff. So basically, I think we're definitely going to be. I think it's definitely going to be in a playable state at launch. Well, I mean, you can't say definite, but yeah, I think everything indicator is that it's going to be very playable at launch. You know, maybe there'll be some minor issues or whatever, but the important thing for me is that it's worth it. You know, like, it's worth the wait to see those issues get fixed up. Like, when you invest in a new franchise or a new IP, you know, you want to know that it's going somewhere, you know, like, and that was the thing, I guess, that was ultimately a little bit disappointing with Mordheim, because you saw how much potential there was, and you saw that it was fundamentally a great game. And, you know, perhaps if a few more warbands had been released and a bit more gameplay stuff had been expanded, and, you know, that could have been like a truly epic game. And so I think that's the thing with Necromunda. Like, it again, we're in that same situation where we've got this the bones of an awesome game that's going to be released. You know, if it was 3 gangs forever and they didn't expand the gameplay at all and all that, then it would fall short of the potential for sure. But if as we expect that it's going to do well, all the other 3 main gangs are going to get released, possibly more, you know, less mainstream gangs and other and you know, expanded gameplay and stuff, maybe even, you know, as a stretch goal, I guess you would say. So I guess what I'm saying is it's worth the investment of your time, your money, and your kind of hopes for the future. Like, this game is a like legit hope for a really good 40k game, you know, and there aren't that many good hopes that come out, you know. The amount of stuff that gets released on the Warhammer IP that just never has any chance of being anything spectacular. You know, there's a lot of that kind of stuff, whereas this game, you know, legit has a chance of being like one of the great Warhammer games, you know, up there with Dawn of War 1, Total War Warhammer 2, the original Space Hulk. I'll just put a mention in there for that. But yeah, this one, definitely has that potential. So in summary, no, I don't think it's going to be broken at launch. And even if it is broken at launch, I honestly don't care. Like, and if you're like me, you're watching this video, you're probably a huge Warhammer fan, and you know, you've got a bit of an investment in the franchise. You know, you've got an investment in the IP. You want more stuff to be created that's going to be quality stuff that's going to promote and enhance that IP. And this game, I think, is going to be something that's going to, you know, add to the Warhammer IP rather than just kind of try to leech off some money, like some of these lower quality creations do. But anyway, that was my take on things. That's pretty much all I got. So hopefully that helped you make a decision if you're still not sure about whether to buy the game. It comes out in like 3 days. On September the 8th, where I am in Australia. Launches at about 8 a.m. East Coast Australia. But yeah, if you haven't bought it already, buy it. And if you have bought it already, then just, you know, be assured that it's all going to be really cool. So yeah.
Infinitely more ways to design and build your own gang, and much more.